Hello, welcome, and once again, thanks for taking your time and joining us live on Projan Media TV. Wherever you are and where you're tuning in from, we are very grateful. But kindly consider subscribing and turning on the notification button for more of these updates. The National Planning Authority says lifting lockdown will lead to third wave, and therefore he proposes partial reopening of the country. Once again, thanks for joining us live on Projan Media TV. But let's take more look into some of these details. The National Planning Authority, a semi-autonomous national development planning organization of government, has proposed three scenarios on how the country can get over the current lockdown. The scenarios that include full reopening of the country, there is zero lockdown measures, no opening up the country, there is continuing with the full lockdown, and partial reopening allowing movement within districts and regions are hinged on the advantages and disadvantages of saving the health of Ugandans or the economy. In a weekly graph for COVID-19 case projections and options for opening up released by National Planning Authority, the executive director, that is Dr. Joseph Muvawala, warned that if government fully lifts the current COVID-19 lockdown, the country will be hit by the third wave of COVID-19 pandemic. And these measures will take the country direct into the third COVID wave, as he said. This containment measure looks at fully opening up the economy with full movement across the country, places of worship, workplaces, public gatherings, and lifting every restriction to movement. He also added that full reopening, Muwala said, is good in reviving the country, but it will reverse all the health benefits obtained in the last 42 days in terms of containing the COVID-19 spread. It can also be observed from the tailbone graph that within 28 days, new cases will average about 500 cases per day with a weekly average of around 2,000. That is what Muvawala said. Therefore, he urged that there should be no opening of the country and continue with the full lockdown. Muvawala said this option of no opening up maintains the status quo and projects a continued decline of cases to about 30 new daily infections and a weekly average of 246 in the coming 28 days. And this measure has serious health benefits but negative economic consequences, as he added. And he also talked about the partial opening up of the country. And Muwala proposed the partial opening up that is allowing movements within districts and regions, saying that it balances between economy and health. And this option allows for partial easing of the lockdown measures. It calls for a balance between economic factors and health benefits. He also said that it looks at easing movement, including public and private transport within regions and all districts, for example, Greater Kampala metropolitan area, district and other metropoles, and keeping in place other containment measures of school closure, prohibition of public gatherings, and closure places of worship. Muvawala said the government across borders of identified regions and districts should be strictly enforced and only goods allowed to continue with the cross-border movement. These measures bring the case down to a daily average of about 16 new cases and weekly average of about 400. And with the GKMA, there is Greater Kampala metropolitan area contributing about 60% of the country's GDP. This option, together with the opening up of other cities and all their metropoles, will aid in gradually reviving the economy while keeping and adding on to the health benefits that have been gained over the last 42 days. President Museveni on June 18th announced a 42-day lockdown to contain the spread of COVID-19 in the second wave. And the president is expected to update the country this Friday when the 42 days will come to an end. Well, that is it for now, though they said the 42 days address have been increased from Friday to Saturday, and we'll keep on updating with more of this. Once again, thanks for taking your time to join us live on Projan Media. We are very grateful, but do one thing: consider subscribing and turning on the notification button. All these updates will come to you in time. Once again, thanks for watching Projan Media TV.